Hi guys, looks like it is actually working this time. It told me I was live a minute ago and it immediately froze, but hopefully we will have better luck this time. So this is going to be my review of Halo Top. And I had shared about 3 weeks ago that I was trying it, and some of you gave me some wonderful recommendations for flavors, and I actually ended up trying pretty much almost all of them, because I tried a few. These are some of the first ones I tried. These are actually empty, so don't worry, it's not melting. But we have a whole bunch more up in our freezer, because when I like something, I have to get every flavor. But I really actually like this product. I don't honestly know if it's something we'll keep in the house long term, and I'll explain to you why, but it really did exceed my expectations, and I am enjoying the Halo Top phase of my life, which might be a brief phase. So I just wanted to tell you from the perspective of a nutrition coach, kind of the pluses and minuses and why this is something I do enjoy, but it's not like 100% like my most favorite thing in the world that I've ever tried. Hey Julian, hey Keith, thanks for getting on, thanks for listening. So first of all, just a little bit of like, I mean, you guys know, but for others who may not, who I am and why I feel I'm qualified to give you guys a review of a food product. So as a nutrition coach with Beachbody, I may not be a registered dietitian, licensed nutritionist, anything like that, but our nutrition programs were designed by registered dietitians, and as a coach, I see my role as being like the world's best student of these plans, really learning the ins and outs, asking any questions I have, and learning all of the details so I can better help my clients. And then, of course, over 4 almost 5 years of doing this, I've gotten a sense of how a solid nutrition plan is put together, what kinds of foods are nutritious versus those that really don't serve health goals, etc. And in addition, I am going to be certified as a health coach, as a nutrition coach in October. So I'll be learning more and excited to share it with you. But, you know, I, even before becoming a coach, had basically read everything I could get my hands on about nutrition and like just read ingredient labels religiously. And that's one of the reasons I really enjoy coaching, is to guide other people through that process. So with all that being said, my review of Halo Top. So first of all, let me address probably what you're wondering the most if you haven't tried it, which is how did it taste? I think it tastes really good. And I honestly, like 100%, just being honest about that. Like, I legitimately enjoy it. I'm not trying to convince myself, you know how sometimes with diet foods you're like, well, yeah, this kind of tastes like the real thing. But I actually think it is really, really good. And I'm kind of an ice cream snob, I will say that. And I was really kind of afraid of wasting my money on this because, just for example, we got ice cream, grocery store ice cream last month when I was in Colorado with my family, and it was like one of the nicer brands. Not going to name names because I don't want to go negative on anyone, but this like full fat, like gourmet brand. And I had a scoop and it was like cardboard in a box. Like, it did not taste good. And that's normally why I don't eat grocery store ice cream. If I'm going to get ice cream, I will go to my favorite local ice cream shop and get a dish of like fresh ice cream, you know, fresh natural ingredients, delicious, but it doesn't have all of those preservatives in it because it doesn't have to stay, well, fresh is not even the right word, but like it doesn't have to stay edible for a whole year inside of a freezer, right? So in general, I have pretty high standards for ice cream, I think, and I thought this was really good. In fact, one of the reasons I don't eat ice cream that often anymore, I mean, partly it's because it's like, I don't necessarily always have an off switch, and if I eat it once, I want more, that kind of thing. But the other reason is it really makes me feel kind of sluggish, and I don't enjoy that feeling. So with this, I did feel a little bit like it was the best of both worlds, where it's not quite as much of like a sugar bomb, fat bomb, calorie bomb. You can enjoy the taste without feeling so like bogged down. And I'll get into the nutrition like macros and all of that later on in this video. But you know, if like at the beginning, like the whole reason I bought this in the first place, this program that I'm doing right now, you might have seen I get to have a treat once a week. So a lot of people from my program have been enjoying Halo Top. And I was like, all right, I'll try it. I'll see what the hype is about. But really in the back of my mind, I was thinking, if you're going to have a treat, why don't you just have the real thing? And, you know, I still might do that. But I like that this doesn't make me feel like I need a nap afterwards. So that's how it tastes. That's how it makes me feel. Let's talk about the ingredients. What I really, really love is if you look on the ingredient label, which you're not going to be able to see in the video, but any one of these flavors, pretty much milk and eggs are the first ingredients. And you'll also find on most of the flavors real cream, organic cane sugar, butter, cocoa, like real ingredients. Crazy, right? But that's why I think this product is able to be kind of the best of both worlds, because it actually does have those real same ingredients that are in ice cream. Now, the other things that it has, so stevia, which is a plant, but it has like a little bit of that bitterness that reminds some people of artificial sweetener. My husband thought it tasted funny. That's probably why. And it also has some sugar alcohols, erythritol. I think that's how you say that. When you get into sugar alcohols, if you eat, so it's something that basically your body can't metabolize and like doesn't recognize as energy. It just goes right through you, which can upset your digestion if you eat a lot of it. What I like about this is it has a mix of those three, sugar, stevia, and sugar alcohol, and so you're not getting too much of any one. So it's relatively low calorie, not too much sugar alcohol, but then again, if you're eating a lot of this, it still could upset your digestion. So it's kind of something to play with. In general, I don't like to have sugar alcohols in my diet. And that's one reason that this is probably not going to be like a daily staple, you know, not going to be a nightly dessert for me. But from the taste perspective, it has like the real sugar taste without being as calorically dense as regular ice cream. So, you know, it's a trade-off. And with any food, really, I think trying it and seeing how your body responds to it, both physically and emotionally, is really important. Like if this is something you could have a little of each day, and you know, it keeps you from, it makes you feel satisfied, gives you that sweet, like satisfaction of a sweet craving, and kind of keeps you away from things that you would rather not eat, then like it's a nice trade-off. But if, on the other hand, eating a little bit of sweets makes you crave more, that's another kind of personality type when it comes to food, and then this might not be such a good option for you. So it's just very personal, and that's why I'm not going to say I definitely recommend this or I definitely don't recommend this, but I really try to give you the pluses and minuses of this and really anything that I review. So then let's talk about the macros. So in terms of carbohydrates and sugars, I'm just going to turn these around. And then also at the end, I'll tell you which flavors these are. The empty ones. Okay, so each one of these has, let's see, 70, 80, or 90 calories. So each of these containers is 4 servings. So that's what, like, even if you eat the whole container, it's still less than 400 calories. So again, it's a matter of knowing yourself, and I really don't recommend eating the whole container. But on the other hand, if you know that that's something that might happen for you, like this is probably better than having Haagen-Dazs at home, right? So reduced fat. So it's like 2 to 3 grams of fat per serving for each of these. And that's the reason it's a harder freeze than full fat ice cream. Like it's recommended to let it soften up for a few minutes, or maybe like scoop it and put it in the microwave for a little while before you eat it. Some people reported having like a real problem with the texture. I didn't find that at all. I am a slow eater, and so I would take it out, have a bite, let it sit for a while, have another bite, and it was like perfect for me because it doesn't melt as fast. So I actually really like that, but do kind of find that as you're eating it, like it still is very cold. Like I will feel like I was burning my tongue a little bit and had to take small bites. So it does have a different texture than regular ice cream, but I didn't think that was a bad thing. In terms of carbohydrates, each one of these has 16 grams of carbs and 7 grams of sugars. And of course, that would include any natural and added sugar, you know, from like organic cane sugar is added sugar, but milk has its own sugars in it. You know that concept, right? So the total sugar is 6 or 7 grams. But then, okay, so each one of these has 5 grams of protein and 3 grams of fiber per serving. And remember, the serving is only 1/4 of the container. So this is where I think that it really is more satisfying than regular ice cream. And this is why, like, in some ways I prefer this, you know, because like I said before, having full fat ice cream makes me feel so sluggish, like I need a nap. And with this, there is that protein and fiber to keep you full, so you feel satisfied and you don't have as much of a blood sugar spike and crash as with regular ice cream. So it doesn't necessarily trigger those cravings, or maybe they won't be as strong. Again, that's a very individual thing and you have to see how it affects you. But the odds are more in your favor when you have that protein and fiber along with the sugar that you're eating. Now, that being said, let's not kid ourselves that this is like a health food. There's nothing in here that's really like contributing to your health. It is just more of a treat that won't detract as much from your health, is the way I see it. You know, like the fiber that's in here it's just listed as prebiotic fiber. I don't know what that is. I don't know what it comes from. That's not like a food. Like, is it, I don't know. Is it wood pulp? Is it vegetables? Who knows? And so that's like another reason why I really wouldn't probably make this a daily staple in my diet. Like, I do believe that it's better to get your fiber from actually eating vegetables than to take a supplement. But again, you know, if it's helping to balance the sugar in your bloodstream, it's actually doing something positive. And so, I am a fan. Qualifying it is what I would say with everything that I've said leading up to this. And just, I'll read these to you, what flavors I have here, so you can just know that, because it's probably backwards. And then I'm going to close out, but let me know if you have any questions before I do. Okay, so the sea salt caramel and caramel macchiato, both of these caramel flavors were really, really amazing. Like, they tasted really good, I thought. Red velvet, I'm not as much about chocolatey things, but it was a nice kind of light chocolate flavor, and it had brownie chunks that were really good. What I noticed with like all the flavors that have chunks in them, it has the real chunks, it just has less of them. Like, it's not, if you get kind of a regular cookie dough ice cream, it will have like a lot of cookie dough. And the cookie dough flavor here, or the oatmeal cookie, it's like small pieces, and they're it's less of it throughout the ice cream. So I mean, that's part of how they keep the calories and sugar and carbs down, and fat down. And you know, you still, it's just, you know, it's up to you. Would you rather have the real thing more rarely and just a tiny bit of it, or you can have a little more of this and maybe have it more often, and still get a taste of what you like. And then the last one I had here is this s'mores. And, you know, this one, it was almost more like a, well, Cookie Crunch, I guess, is what it tasted like to me. But it did have kind of that marshmallow and chocolate. But my favorites were definitely the caramel flavors out of these. My husband has been enjoying it too, although he did say it tasted a little funny, and I think it was the stevia and sugar alcohol. But yeah, I've only been on the program for 3 weeks, so I didn't finish all of these myself. He helped me. But yeah, so this is what's been my weekly treat so far in this new program, and gonna keep up with it, you know, while it's still summer, but then this might be like the end of the Halo Top phase for me. Wanted to let you guys know my thoughts while it's still fresh, and of course, inbox me if you have any questions after the video wraps up. Thanks guys, see you later.